Just a minute. Hey everyone, we'll be starting very shortly. Just hang tight. Sorry about that, everybody. Hey, how are you? So good to be here. You are back here today on my live, and I'm checking with Jennifer to see if my sound's coming through now. I hope everybody can hear me. So let me know if you can hear me, because it's no fun. Okay, so Jennifer just let me know that we do have sound, and I'm just going to give people a few minutes to get in. And I want to thank everybody for being patient with me last week. I did not put up a video, and of course I didn't do anything earlier this week, because the older I get, the harder it is for me to travel, and the tireder I am when I get back. So I'm glad you can hear me, Margie. I was over here just yakking my jaws for no reason. Nobody could hear me. So I'm so glad that you can hear me now. We're going to do a really fun project, so I am so glad that you're here and you're ready. We're going to look at some new products that's coming up in our new catalog that's going to premiere on May the 3rd. And it's always such a fun time when that new catalog comes out. So anybody that's interested in receiving a catalog, please reach out to me and let me know. It does cost me about $8, counting postage and the cost of the catalog, to send you a catalog. So, but if you're interested in ordering, I definitely want to make sure that you get a catalog in your hand. And this particular catalog right here is good for an entire year. So everything, I can't open this because we're not allowed to open it until it goes live on May the 3rd. But I can show you the front of the catalog, and I can show you some of the products. And that's exactly what we're going to do. But I am going to hang out just a little bit longer, and I think we are showing about 3 people in here right now. Margie, hey Alicia, so good to see you. We've got Jennifer, and we've got Leisha, and we've got Margie. So I'm going to hold tight for a minute, and we're just going to chit chat. I had a wonderful time at Jennifer's over the weekend. The trip was grueling, and it was just I don't know why, it was a hard trip. And I think part of it is our brakes, we had trouble with our brakes, and we had to have them replaced while we were there on a Saturday. So of course we did not get it done for a good price by no means. Let's just say they saw us coming, and we'll leave it at that. But anyway, we did get them fixed, and we got back home safely, and all is well that ends well. And Autumn had a wonderful birthday party, and that was the most important thing. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead. First, I want to show you what the door prize is going to be today. So you need to hang around to the end of this, the giveaway, and also let Alicia or Jennifer know if you do not want to be in the drawing. just let them know. Or what might be better is just say drawing beside your name, and that will let them know that you do want to be in the drawing, and they'll make a list for me. And at the end of the video, I will get that list from them, and I'll put it into my random name picker on my phone like I always do, and then we will pick a winner. But this is the stamp set that I'm giving away today, and it's called Driving By. And it is a really cute little stamp set with a little Volkswagen buggy, a little buggy here, a little sports car up here, and we've got some sentiments that says, "Aw, thanks, you got style, driving by just to say hi." So it is a red cling rubber stamp. So if anyone wins this and you do not know how to put the stickers on, please let me know before I ship it out to you, and I'll be glad to stick those on for you. I always ask people that because I know many times people get these and they do not know how to do it. Hey Marcia, welcome. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's go ahead and get started before we go any further, and I'm going to transition y'all over to my craft table. And here we are. These are some of the products that we're going to use today. Let me move my card over. This is going to be a fun fold card. I'm going to zoom y'all in just a little bit more. About like that to start with. But this is a collection, and a collection is different than a bundle. You'll always hear me talk about a bundle. Well, this is not part of the bundle. This is, I mean, the collection. A collection means you get everything that goes with this particular stamp and die, which in this case includes this Fern 3D embossing folder. This is gorgeous. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? And you get the stamp set and the dies and this beautiful designer series paper. This is probably one of the prettiest packs of paper that I have seen. Look at this piece right here. Is that not stunning? Love, love, love this. And we're going to use a piece of this on our card today, as well as some of this. So I've already cut my pieces. Let me show you some of the other pieces in this collection before we get started. I think everybody loves to look at paper. I know I do. All right, so the back side of this one gives you this beautiful gray and white, and you know gray and white goes good with this beautiful blue. And then of course you get this piece, and on the back side of it you just have a very pretty kind of a washed, I think this looks like the sky. I don't know. To me, it just looks like the sky. There's the other piece of that one piece that I used, which you could easily cut this and make another card out of it. And then you've got this that you could use as a background. There's that other piece that's got that gray on it. And here's another one. I'm not going to show you both of those because you get two sheets of each design. And that's the back of it, that beautiful striped. And then I love this one too, and it's got a wash of our new colors in it, which I think is beautiful. Actually, this is Pacific Point, and you've got the new color called Starry Sky. And on the back of this one, you got this beautiful gray, and then you've got this one, and on the back of this one, you've got these little blue dots. So you always have a main piece, and then on the back side always gives you a more muted piece that will coordinate beautifully with your paper. And this is called Sunprints. It's a 12 by 12 designer series pack of paper. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. When I saw this paper in the catalog, and as a demonstrator, you get to see everything before anybody else, which is super great. All right, I decided that I wanted to use this for my card today. So I'm going to show you what I did. I also pulled in a new die set called Stylish Shape Dies. You might say, well, I can cut a square. Yeah, anybody can cut a square. But with these, you get everything on here is stitched. So all of your pieces are stitched. Now, all of these new products will not be available for sale until May the 3rd when the catalog goes live. But we're kind of getting a preview of some of the things today. So I did use those. That's a standalone die set. I used the Natural Prints, which is the coordinating dies that goes with the Nature's Print. And if you purchase this as a bundle, you save 10%. Anytime you purchase stamps and dies together, you save 10% over buying them separately. So that's always a good thing. All right, so I'm going to lay those up there, and then of course this beautiful embossing folder. We're going to use that on the second card. Yes, I got a little bit ambitious today and decided I was going to try to do 2 cards. So let's get started. Here's all my pieces that I cut for this card. And this card is not hard. It's going to seem like it's hard, but it really isn't. It is just a lot of pieces. So here is my piece for my sentiment, and I cut the smaller one and the one next to the, let's see, let me look at them and I can tell you which ones I used. I used the second to the smallest and then the third to the smallest, and that's what, these are the ones I used to cut these out with. You can see that right there. And they look so cute, and it's going to be gorgeous. And I went ahead and I did this ahead of time. Like I said, I did a lot of this ahead of time because I knew that this card's going to take some time to put together. So I did a lot of scoring. I did stamp this with Versamark ink, and I did some heat embossing using my white embossing powder. And it's just simple little hello there. When you want to send a card to somebody and you really don't have a reason, I think that would be a great little sentiment to use. And there's that beautiful piece of paper. And I'm trying to decide if I want to put it, I think I want it like this. I think that's what I had decided. Just like that. And I think what I'm going to do, I want to put this like right in the middle. I think that really kind of brightens up the middle. We could put it up here in the top corner, but I really kind of like it here, and I think I might put some jewels, maybe some rhinestones or something there. But let's go ahead and start putting this together, and then we'll get to our inside. I am going to grab my Stampin' Seal Plus. I lost my little cap that goes on it, and I have looked everywhere. It's got to be in my craft room. It just has to be. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal just to go ahead and put down my front. And I'm just going to do all the way around just some little pieces, just enough to hold it. And I am beginning to love this stuff more and more. The more I use it, the more I'll love it. And I really think that they reformulated it because it is much easier to use than it was when I first started with it. And I think it was about 2 years ago that they came out with this particular Stampin' Seal. So we're going to get that on right about there, press it down. And now for this, I want to pop that up. So I'm going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to put maybe about 3 on here. Oh, let's just go ahead and do 4. Just like that. Now, I want to tell y'all, I wasn't sure what I was going to do today. And yesterday, I was talking with Alicia on the phone, and she said she wanted to see me do something with this particular suite. So I said, okay. I didn't have any restrictions on this one, so I can use whatever I want to use, ever how much of what I want to use, and that sort of thing. So that makes it a lot easier for me to come up with something. So what do y'all think with this? Doesn't that look pretty like that? And I think for this, I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal. And we're going to drop this down right here in the middle. Maybe, let's see if I can kind of center it a little bit. So we know that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I line that up about on that center line right there, then I know that I've got that about in the center. So we're going to plop that down right there, just like that, and the front of our card is done. Now, the inside of our card, I forgot to cut my mat, so y'all are going to have to forgive me and bear with me on this. I am going to need to cut a couple of mats to go on the inside, and I think I'm going to use one of those gray, the muted gray backgrounds. I think I like this one. And I think that'll be really pretty using the Night of Navy against it. And you'll see what I'm doing in just a minute. Let's go ahead and cut 2 pieces of this. And we're going to cut this at 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm basically going to cut it down at 5 3/4. That'll give us that nice little border edge around our 6-inch card base. Let's move that out of our way. And then I'm going to cut 5 3/4 again. And then we're going to have one more little piece that's going to come off of this. So we're going to cut this at 5 1/2. Oh, 5 3/4. I almost messed up, y'all. Was anybody screaming at me? Okay. Let's see if we can get this about here. And I got that little piece. And now these are ready to go on the inside. That didn't take too very long, did it? So now we can put these down on the inside. About like that. And I'm going to use Stampin' Seal again. I think I'm going to use Stampin' Seal. To me, it's just quicker. Just got to remember to roll my wrist, and that makes sure that it is always at the end of my roller whenever I do that. So I don't always remember, but it is a rule of thumb that we should get in the habit of doing if you like the Stampin' Seal. Now, I've heard some of you say that you just cannot embrace it. I like a dry adhesive. Sometimes you just need something dry. Now this is, it has a direction on it. So I'm making sure that my flowers or my little ferns are going up. So we are going to put this down right about here. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Hey, Jennifer Reel. Who else has come in that I've missed? Hey, Margie Miller and Kathy Watts. It's good to have y'all here. I think I've spoken to everyone else, including Jennifer. Jennifer Reel, it's always good to see you. And Margie Miller. Oh, my goodness. I hope you are doing well. Alright, so now I'm just going to press that down, and now we're going to get to our little mechanism. We're going to make a fun fold card. Now this piece right here measures 6 by 5. I think it's 6 by 5. I'm checking my measurements. I just typed this all up and I can't remember it. It is 6 by 8. I'm sorry. You know what? Did I do that right? 5 by 8. I'm sorry. This is 5 inches by 8 inches. Okay. And it is scored at 2, 4, and 6. And we're going to fold those, but as I've told y'all many times, if you fold in to the mountain, when you score like this, remember to turn your paper over and fold against the mountain ridge. It just makes it go easier. It keeps your paper from splitting. It is just a much better way to do your paper. Now this is going to fit inside of our card like that. So I am going to put some adhesive. I think I'm going to use some liquid glue. Now, if you look at, Jennifer is correcting me on my measurements, the 5 by 8 inch piece is scored at 2, 4, and 6. The 1.5 by 6 inch piece is scored at 1.5, 3, and 4.5. I had to get my daughter straight. She was telling me I scored it in the wrong place. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look and kind of center this piece in. I want it to touch the score line but not impede the score line. And then what I want to do is just fold it down like this. I'm looking to make sure I've got about the same amount of distance on both sides. And then I'm going to put some liquid glue. My glue is oozing quite a bit here. Hello, E.C. McDonald. How are you? So good to see you. All right, and then I'm just going to fold this over just like that and just give it a good press. Let that glue do its thing. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to turn it over where this is already connected, and then I'm going to fold that down and I'm going to put glue right here. Welcome to our little crafty group of folks. I'm so glad to have you. We are working with some Stampin' Up! Products, and love, love, love my Stampin' Up! I'm going to fold that over and give it a press. And now we have this. And that is not fitting for some reason. Okay. I'm going to train my paper. That should have folded out straight, but it didn't, so we're just going to make it go straight. All right. And then we're going to do it this way and make sure that it lays straight. Hey Donna, how are you? We haven't seen Donna in forever. I'm so glad to see you on one of my lives. So good to see you. Alright, so I think we trained our paper a little bit better, so then now it will fold straight. It will also sit up. We've got 4 more pieces that we're going to put on, but these 4 mechanisms are actually going to sit. We're going to fold those the same way. We're going to fold them in toward that mountain fold, and then we're going to fold them down where our raw edge is going to be down next to this. But we're not going to put them on quite yet. But they're going to sit here, 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 and here. And you're going to see how pretty this card's going to look once we get everything together. But we've got some little mats because each one of these squares on here are going to get a mat. They're actually going to get 2 mats. So bear with me while I glue. And this would have been done if I'd had time. Like I said, I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off this morning. So you're going to need to cut 8 of these little... Do I have 8? That's 6. Let's see if we doubled up here somewhere. Yep, there's 1. I'm pretty sure I cut 8 of them. 6, 7, 8. Okay, we have 8 of them. And I've got 8 pieces of that Designer Series paper. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do glue. I'm going to take these and really quickly we are going to glue these on. Is anybody in a hurry? If anybody has somewhere to go, because this might take me a little bit longer than my hour, especially since I had this other card that I wanted to do too, using the same paper, just showing you the difference in how you can make it look. So I'm just going to stick these all on. So y'all go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. Hey Susan, how are you? It's always so good to see everybody and just have the opportunity to welcome y'all all into my live. It's so exciting to see so many new faces show up. I won't say faces because I don't see your face, but I do see your name. So Susan won our brushes last time, and I hope she's enjoying those. They are really, really nice blending brushes. And the more that my business grows, the more exciting and more expensive gifts I can afford to give away. So, and I love being able to give. That is so much fun when I can send y'all a free something something. And any of y'all that have that was on my mailing list to get a catalog, let me know if you've gotten a new catalog yet. What we're working with today, for any of you that have come in new, we are working with the sun prints. Okay, Jennifer says we're getting an echo again, so let's, how about now? Let's see if that's a little better. Y'all let me know if the echo's gone. I have Jennifer in my ear, so a lot of times if I have, I'll usually have either her or Alicia talking to me. And okay, she just let me know that it's fixed, so now y'all aren't hearing me twice. It's bad enough to have to listen to my voice once, but twice, oh my goodness. Okay, so I am getting these on here, and I'm wanting to make sure that I'm trying to get them on nice and straight, because you put this much work in a card, you want it to be, you know, you want it to look nice. Good, Susan. I'm glad to hear that you're putting those brushes to use. I love mine. I have one for each color family, and like all of my reds, my greens, my blues, pinks, grays, beige and brown, so yellows, orange, and I love, love, love having a brush for each color family. It would be almost impossible to have a brush for every ink, but I found out that you don't need it for every ink. Just one for each color family usually works really well. Alright, so now these are ready to go on. Now when you put these on, remember that these two pieces are going to be actually glued down. So the piece that's going to be seen is going to be these two pieces here. So these two pieces are where you want to put your little mats that you just finished, that I just finished gluing together. So I think for these I'm going to go stamp and seal. Again, I can do it quicker, I think. And we're going to put one right here. And it's much easier if you put these on before you actually glue them in. I think you will, you'll have a much better success. It's just hard to put them on once you glue this down. So we're going to take the time to do this now. So that one's ready. And just remember, you want to make sure that they're going on the two center squares in the center, not the one at the top. Let me go ahead and get these folded. You're going to want to crease. I did not do a trial run on this card, so this is pretty much my trial run, y'all. So I'm hoping it's going to come out good. I already had to make some adjustments on that middle piece. Normally I will make a prototype of a card before I commit to making it on camera, or especially live. But I'm winging it today. And I feel like we're all amongst friends here, so if I goof up, y'all will forgive me. So like I was talking earlier, our little encounter with our brakes was quite an ordeal. Some of you may not know that have come in, but we traveled to Virginia. It's about a 5-hour trip from where I live in North Carolina, even though it's just one state up. We live in the very southern part of North Carolina. My daughter's in the mid-Atlantic, or the south central part of Virginia. She is just southwest of Richmond, in an area called North Chesterfield. And we traveled up there the weekend, and on the way up we got about halfway there and our brakes started grinding. I mean, it was the most horrible sound. And we were coming into a rest stop to let our little dogs go out to use the bathroom, and that's when we heard it, and we were like, oh no, do we keep going? Do we turn around and go back home? And yeah, well, needless to say, we kept going because we did not want to miss Autumn's birthday party. So we get up there, and it was too late to do anything that night. That was Friday evening. Oh, you know what? I did too many of these. I only needed Oh, wait a minute, I should have another piece. I do. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my mind, y'all. I knew I was supposed to have 4 of these. Anyway, we tried to find shops that was open the next day. Mechanics just don't work on Saturday. I can't blame them. But I sure did need a good one Saturday, because we needed brakes. Now, normally my husband is a mechanic, and he doesn't even like anybody to work on the car. He likes to do it himself. We could have done this brake job for about 200 bucks. It was just the front brakes. We didn't do them all the way around. So, needless to say, the only place we could find that would do it was Midas. And can I just say, they saw us coming? Yep, they saw us coming. Alright, now to put this in, what we're going to do is one piece is going to go here and one piece is going to go there. So you can see how pretty. Maybe we need to turn that one around. One piece is going to go here and one piece is going to go there. Just like that. So what we want to do is bring it down, and we're going to lay this piece up here and this piece up. Let me bring it down so y'all can see what I'm doing. I want them to go evenly against the score line where this one piece went down. And I want to make sure that I'm getting them about the same distance from one side to the other. Just like that. I'm going to fold that over, and I'm going to go ahead and put some liquid glue on that tab right there. I know that's the one that's going to go down. Oh, I got a little bit of a clot on my glue. So, hey Julie, welcome in. I'm so glad that you joined us today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope it won't be the last time that you come by. I appreciate it. And we're going to have a drawing at the end of this for a stamp set. This was one of our recent celebration stamp sets called Driving By, and we'll be giving that away at the end. But you have to be present to win, so hang in there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this one over here. I'm going to put them both down before I turn the card over. So I'm going to turn this one over and put some glue right here. And I'm going to put that one right about there. That looks good. I'll press that down just like that. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put glue on the other side and press it down right there. So on these two tabs, we're going to put some glue. And here. And then I'm just going to fold these over. Like that. And like that. All right, there we go. So now that is that side done. Is that not beautiful? Hold it like this and make sure everything folds down nice and flat. Now we're going to put them on this side. And this, we're just going to turn it around and do the same thing we just did. I'm going to fold that together like this so that you have your fold on at the top, your open end at the bottom, and we are going to place those in. And you want to try to get them evenly with this. So kind of look at your edges and see where they're at, and then try to get that about where it was, or where it is on the other side. Put your glue on. I like to use glue for this because I can have a little bit of wiggle room if I need to wiggle it around a little bit. And that looks good right about there. And I'm going to do the same thing right here with this one. Let's go ahead and put some glue right here. And press it. And once those are on there good and tight, then we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to put glue right here on that tab and tab. And then we're just going to fold our card shut and just let it do the magic. Just like that. Oops, didn't give it time enough to set. So I'm just going to hold that in place for a minute. I really wanted to bring y'all a wow card that is fairly easy to make. Other than time consuming and cutting all your small pieces and gluing them together, this card, I mean, the paper does the work, because look how beautiful that paper is. I mean, if you have not fallen in love with this paper, I just don't know what to say, because this paper is stunning. So I'm just going to press those a little bit more, making sure they're good and glued. Get my excess glue off of there. And there we go. Now we need a sentiment inside. So I want to put something that's going to stick out right here, so when they open the card, it will be a beautiful sentiment. So let's look at that set again. And what did I do with it? Oh, of course, I laid it up here. Okay, how about we did the hello there, and I love this font. This font is really very whimsical, don't you think? I love that hello there. I think for the inside, I want to do a heartfelt thank you. I'm always needing thank you cards, so I think that's what we're going to do. A heartfelt thank you. Nope, that's not the right one. It's this one right here. So now I need to decide what I want to put that on, and I think this little tag in here will be perfect. Oh yeah, that I think is perfect for this. Now if we can just decide if we can fit this in here. Let's try it. We don't know until we try, right? And if it doesn't work, we'll stamp it again and we'll cut it out of another piece of paper. And I think for this one I'm going to do it in white, because I really want it to kind of pop, and I'm going to use the Starry Sky ink. That's one of our new colors. Oh, speaking of new colors, let me move my drink over here. Y'all know I have to have a drink because I talk way too much, and any of y'all that know me know that's a true statement. It's time for Jennifer or Alicia or Donna to kick in on that one, because y'all know I talk way too much. Let me go ahead and pull these new colors of ink. Look at this Tahitian Tide. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Orchid Oasis. Stunning, beautiful color. Sweet Sorbet. Look at this neon green. Parakeet Party. Doesn't that sound like fun? I'll pull these down so you can see them all. And the one that I'm going to use for this card is Starry Sky. Those are our new in colors. Aren't they gorgeous? I love, well, I say I love this one, but I love this one and this one and this one and this one. I'm not a green girl. I've never been green, but I love my blues and purples and pinks and reds. But this green is stunning. It's just a very bright, it's actually a little brighter than the Granny Apple green. I'll just show you a comparison. See what I mean? When I put Granny Apple next to it, it makes this look like Old Olive, but it's not. So I love these new colors. So we're going to use the Starry Sky for our sentiment. And I am going to stamp this. Let me get a stamp block. And what I always like to do, I like to line my stamps up on my grid. I figure if I pick them up straight, I have a better chance of stamping them straight. So I'm going to open that brand new ink pad and ink it up. Let's see. I'm going to stamp off on something, a piece of scrap or something. Because a lot of times when you have a new ink pad that's really juicy, yeah, see, when it's real juicy, sometimes you just have to stamp a few times. It's not the stamp, it's just the juiciness of this ink pad. Okay, I'm going to clean my stamp and then I'm going to re-stamp it where I need to do it. So this is my Stampin' Chamois, or my Simply Chamois. It is wonderful for the water-based inks of Stampin' Up. All of our inks are dye inks, which makes them a water-based ink. Some of your other inks are pigment inks, like your VersaFine. Those are pigment inks. These are dye inks. They actually dye the paper. That's the reason we can use our alcohol markers with these inks, because alcohol won't move water. Okay, I think this is going to be perfect. So I'm going to set it down. Marlene! Marlene, we'll make sure that you're in the drawing even if you can't stay because of the storms. We will make that exception for you. So if something happens and you have to leave, we totally understand. We're supposed to get it tomorrow, so I feel for you. Anybody that knows me knows that I am petrified of storms, and we're supposed to get hit pretty hard tomorrow between 2 and 7. I was glad it wasn't today. Yesterday, the reason I didn't do anything Monday or yesterday as far as putting up a video, I was busy working on my taxes, but I got them done. They are filed and out of the way. Yeah, I was procrastinating. I waited till the last minute. Shame on me. Really not the last minute. I still have until Monday, but they're done and I'm happy. It's always such a weight off of my shoulders. I do our taxes every year, and it's always such a weight off once you get those done and out of your way. So, and it's always a little bit more because of my little small business. I have to go in and do a small business thing. So there's a lot of but if you got a good program, I say anybody can do their taxes if they got a good program. So I'm glad I got mine done and over with. So I'm cutting that out, and it looks like that's going to work out perfect for that sentiment. So let me move my big old Mac Daddy Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This thing cuts like butter. If you're in the market for a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I would highly recommend this one because it is fantastic. I love that. I love this die. That is such a cute tag. Isn't that cute? Look at that. Love it. But then I love just about everything Stampin' Up. Y'all know that. They have such beautiful products, and I say this over and over. Everybody says, I can't afford Stampin' Up. It's just too expensive. But I have looked over and over at different products. I love that. I think that's going to be so pretty right there. I'm going to put it right about like that. Maybe right in the middle. And I'm only going to glue it on this side. So I'm only going to put adhesive on that side of the cut. So I'm not going to go any further than right here with my glue. And then I'm going to put that down right about like that. Just holding it for a moment to make sure that everything is going together good. Now, what you could do if you wanted to dress up the front of your card a little bit more, I think it's gorgeous just the way it is. We've got this popped up, heat embossed. Really the star of the show is when you open it. And this will sit up on someone's desk, and it's just so pretty. So I love the way this card turned out. It's not hard to make. If you can do straight cuts and just glue your angles down, or your flat pieces down, it's not even angles, you can make this card. Let's grab some embellishments, and I want something sparkly, and I think for this I'm gonna grab some of my rhinestones, because you know everybody looks good in rhinestones or diamonds, don't you think? Diamonds never go out of style, and that's basically what these are. They're like little diamonds. And now take your pick tool, and I am going to start off with the bigger one, and I'm going to put one right there, and maybe one right here, and then I'm going to trail a couple of the smaller ones, maybe one here, and let's put one right there in the middle of that little flower, or it looks like a dandelion, and maybe one right here. Now you could put a white bow on this if you like, or you can leave it like it is. I mean, it is totally up to you. I had worked, even though I wasn't doing videos, I was working, trying to organize all of my stuff, because anytime the new catalog comes out, I have to go and pull anything that's not current, because I don't want to use something that y'all can't get. That is so frustrating when you see a demonstrator use something that you cannot purchase, and I try my best not to do that. Hey Beverly, how are you? So glad you could make it. We're going to be doing a little giveaway in a few minutes. So I am going to do my little bow that I like to make. I call this my finger bow, and I have a video that shows how to make this. And I think it always, oops, let's try that again. That didn't work out for me, did it? And through my fingers right here. And oops, this ribbon is organdy and it's got sparklies on it, so it's not the easiest to do this kind of bow with, but you know what? I am going to make it work. Let's go through here and back over and under here. Jennifer, you know I forgot to bring my ribbon, because I promised Autumn I was going to bring some ribbon to make her some more hair bows, and Gammy forgot. Oh, okay. Jennifer just told me it was okay because she thinks Autumn forgot too. I'll just have to make her some and send them to her. All right, let's see. Let's straighten that one out just a tiny bit. I think this will be pretty on here. Maybe something like that. So I'm going to cut my tails like this and like this. And I think I'm going to put this bow right about there. What do y'all think? I think that really adds a little something to it. So let's get a glue dot, or maybe a couple of glue dots. And I'm going to sit my bow right down into a glue dot. And then I'm going to put it right up underneath there. There we go. So y'all have to tell me what you think of this card. If we got time to make another one, it's almost 12. The other one I think is going to be a little bit simpler because we're not doing all of this on the inside. But does that card not make a statement? Thank you, Alicia. I wasn't sure what gems I was going to use or what ribbon until I got the card done. Had I done a prototype of this card, I probably would have had that already worked out. But I think it turned out gorgeous. What do y'all think? And I love the inside. I love that gray in the background with this. I think it really just accented it. And everything that I used except my gems and my ribbon came out of that Sweet collection, the Sun Print Sweet collection. So let's look at the next one that I have for y'all. And this one should go together a little bit quicker. Let's see if I can find it. Let me set my mason jar over there. I've got my scissors in a mason jar until I can find something better to keep them in. Okay, this is another 6x6. And what I did is I used the dies from the Natural Prints, and I cut out this wreath out of white. I did a little bit of embossing on a strip, and this is the color Starry Sky. And I did that, and I want to show you a heat embossing technique. I cut out some of the little flowers. That was these right here. These flowers right here. And I stamped a couple of the ferns from here. This was this one right here, the fern. And let's see what we got. Let's see what we can put together. Alright, this is going to be for our inside. Alright, I think what I want to do here is I want this to come up from the corner right here. Or do I want it to come down? I think I want it to come up. I want that wreath to be up toward the top a little bit. And I'm going to show y'all a little trick. It's really not a trick. Y'all have, I'm sure you've seen it many times. I'm going to use one of my silicone craft sheets, and I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to take some liquid glue and just put a squirt of it right here. And I am going to use a sponge dauber, and I'm going to pick up some glue, and I'm just going to do this all over this piece. This is just a super quick and easy way to get glue on an intricate die. And let's move that over. Move this back over. And I want this to go up this way. And we are going to lay that down and press it. Now, a good thing you can do is just take a stamp block and lay on it. And that'll just help it go together. While we're doing that, let's do one other thing. I want to show you, if you take a piece that you have embossed, and I'm going to emboss the raised up side. You can see that's the raised side, and I did that with that the Fern 3D embossing folder. And this is, again, this comes in that collection, but you can also buy everything that's in this collection can be sold separately as well. So maybe you don't like the paper, or maybe you love the paper but you don't care for the stamp set. Maybe you just want the stamp and the dies, or maybe you want the dies and the stamps. Well, if you want the dies and the stamps, make sure you bundle, because you can save 10% when you do that. I'm going to take my Versamark ink, and I am going to show you what happens when you, oh, I don't want white, I want clear. Almost messed up. I'm just taking my Versamark ink and I'm inking this entire piece. No rhyme or reason, just get the Versamark on it. Rub it over it. Just drag it against there, just like that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring over my clear embossing powder. I'm going to grab my little reverse tweezers if I can find them. You know what? I didn't get ink all the way over that. I'm seeing some places that I did not get ink, so I'm going to go back and just touch these little places. I really want that full effect all over this piece, and you're gonna be so surprised, unless you have seen this done before. Alright, so this is clear embossing powder, and we are going to put a generous amount on this piece. I'm going to take it a loose right there. I'm just dipping the edges to make sure that I get all of my edges completely covered. Tap it off. I'm going to lay that over to the side so I can clean up my mess, because y'all know I made a mess. Do y'all know that I cannot craft without making a mess? I got a little bit of embossing powder right here, but that's okay. I am going to use my little surface sweep. This is not a Stampin' Up! Product, but I love it. It works so good, and it helps keep my surface clean, somewhat clean. Alright, I am going to grab my little bamboo mat that I covered in Reynolds wrap and lay that down. We're going to heat up my gun, so y'all talk amongst yourselves while I get this little heat tool heated up. I'm glad y'all are loving everything that I showed you today. This is one of the prettiest collections. And wait till you see what happens when this starts melting. Let me get my tweezers so I can hold that in place. So what this is doing, it's melting that embossing powder onto our piece. Now see the magic? And by it being clear, it's actually changing the color of the paper because it's giving it a beautiful glossy, darker image. And you can do this with any embossing folder and any just by using clear embossing powder. After you run it through the machine and get your image on it, then you just want to ink it up. And look at that. Is that not stunning? And that's all set. Sorry for the noise of the heat tool, but hey, it is what it is. And that piece is gorgeous. Look at that. It just takes your embossing to a whole nother level. Alright, so now I'm going to bring this back over. I think we're going in this direction. And you know, I wanted to put this on the outside, but I think I'm going to save that for the inside. My intentions was to put it over to the side, but you know what? It's okay. Let me see. Do I want this card to open this way, or do I want it to open? I think I'm going to let this one open this way. Yep, we're going to do that way. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put down some of my tape runner, or my Stampin' Seal. Maybe one little piece in the middle. I like to make sure that my cards are intact when I put them together. The last thing I want is for cards to look like they're falling apart. Nobody wants to send a card that's, you know, somebody gets it and thinks, oh my goodness, why did they send me this? All right, I want to put this maybe there and there. And then all of my little bits that I cut out was for a purpose. And what we're going to do, I should have done this before I put these down. I want to put these in here like this. So I'm going to go around and lift this wherever it will. And I didn't really get glue completely around this. I did in a lot of places, but not all over. And that's okay, because I wanted to be able to put these little sprigs in, because I think this really adds to your wreath and it brings in that other color as well. So let's come up here and see. Like that. Now I am going to go back and put glue on these, so they're not just going to be hanging in there loosely. I am going to glue them down. And we got one more. Let's just stick this one right about here. Isn't that pretty? I think that just adds so much to it. And we're going to go back in with our glue. This is also going to help set any of those places that you have. I didn't get glue on it when I was gluing down that little wreath. So let's just go in here. I know one of these little pieces came up. Right about like that. And press that down. And then after you get this done, if you need to go back and run some glue, you can. You can always run a little extra glue under the edges, just to make sure everything stays intact. And this can be just a tiny bit tedious, but I think it's worth it for the effect that you're going to get with these pieces sitting up like that on this wreath. I think it's just gorgeous. Again, I cannot sing the praises about this enough, because it is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pack of paper and set. And like I said, an embossing folder, designer series paper, a stamp, and a die set. And Alicia, do you have the price on this, what this whole suite is? If you could pop that in. Now, none of this will be available until May the 3rd, so it's not orderable until the catalog goes live, but that's just around the corner, y'all. I want to say it was $67. Hey Joanne, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time. All right, I think this is the biggest crowd that I've ever had, so thank y'all so much for joining. I so appreciate it. Y'all are all so very special to me. I love you all dearly, and I just thank you so much for being a part of my my YouTube family, my little crafting community. I'm going to take my fingers and just curl the end of this just a little bit so it kind of sticks up. Something like that. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Just a simple little curl of your finger. And we're going to put some glue on that and stick it under here. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to put a little glue right there and press that down. And anywhere that I see that it's raised a little bit, I'm just going to put a dot of glue. Okay, thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that. I couldn't remember if it was 67 or 76. I couldn't remember. But that's a lot of product for that amount of money. I mean, you go to the craft store, go to Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby. I love Hobby Lobby, but when you go to buy a really good set of stamps and a good die set that cuts very easily, you're going to pay some money. They're just not cheap. All right, I'm going to cut this piece down to go inside, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save paper, because I'm going to let this piece kind of overlap. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to cut this piece. When in doubt, get your ruler, right? I got glitter from that ribbon that I used earlier, y'all. Alright, I know this piece is 2. And I want to bring it over about 1/4 of an inch. No, maybe 1/8 of an inch. So that's going to go down right about there. But I want this piece to go under it, so we are going to go about 1/4 of an inch over to about 4 inches. So I'm going to cut 4 inches off of this piece. So this piece is going to be 4 by 5.5. And what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put this one down first. And yeah, we got a little bit more of a border on this, but that's okay. That is okay. And then we're going to put this where it's overlapping it just a little bit. I think that'll give a nice little contrast. So I am going to, let's put this one down first. Alright, so we're just going to drop this in right about here. And then I'm going to put glue on this one, and I'll tell you why. Anytime I'm working with a piece that has been embossed, sorry about that, I got a frog in my throat. I like to use liquid glue because it gets down in those little nooks and crannies, and it gives me a better chance of it staying where I put it. And I think what I want to do for my middle, I have another die set that I have absolutely fallen in love with, and it's called the Fabulous Frames. This is also, and I did not put this in my description, but I will. And I'm sure that Jennifer or Alicia, I know Alicia would have it, the numbers for it. But this is such a cute stamp set, and I think what I want to do, I want to cut this little frame, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut this little frame, and because I want to teach you a trick. We're also going to put a sentiment on the front, but I want to cut this little frame, and I'm going to do it out of white. So I'm just going to grab a scrap, going over here to my scrap bin, and grab a little scrap of white, and I'm going to put that. Do I want to stamp it first? Well, yeah, let's stamp it. Let's stamp it, and let's put this one. Alright, the other one, for any of you that's come in, this was the first card that we made out using that suite. So I know some of you that just came in probably didn't see it, but this was our first card, and this is what it looks like on the inside. Such a pretty card. I think it turned out gorgeous. So for this one, I am going to put a sentiment across here, but I just want to use, I want something that is just straight across, and what, I'm not sure which one of my dies I want to use, or maybe I just want to do a punch. Let's do a punch. How about that? Let's grab I know some of my punches are retiring, so I pulled some, but I don't think I've pulled them all. I'm going to grab this one. I can't remember if this one has retired or not. This is the label. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Label Me Lovely has retired. Or it is retiring. Let me see if I can find one that's not retired, because I don't want to show you items that you can't get. I'm not finding a punch that's really sending me, so. Alright, back to the dies, y'all. Let me use a, I think I'm going to use these painted labels. I think these are retiring too, but they haven't retired yet. So, how about this one? Trying to decide exactly how I want to do this. I do want to put this one on the inside, but I think for the outside I might do this. Yeah, this is what happens when I don't plan my card out completely. I'm always indecisive, because when I'm making a card and I do my prototype, I pretty much know exactly where I'm going with it. Well, maybe not all the time, because y'all know me. I change my mind midstream. It's just who I am. I can't help it. Alright, here we go. Let's grab our plates again. And the one thing I love about this cut and die emboss machine, you never have to guess what plates to use. It's all spelled out for you. You don't have to use shims. You don't have to do anything as far as this, that, or the other. It's straightforward with all of your cuts and all of your embossing folders. So you have, for your regular embossing folders, you have one sandwich. For all of your die cuts, you have one sandwich. And for your 3D embossing folders, you have a sandwich. So that's all you ever have to remember. And I love that. I like that. That's so pretty. That's going to go right about here on that card. So let's decide. Let me grab another piece, because this is going to go on the inside. So I'm going to grab another scrap. This is why I keep my scraps, because this is a great way to use up scraps. And we always need white sentiments, so I have one whole bin that's dedicated to just white. And then I have all of my other scraps categorized alphabetically by the name of the color, and it just makes it so much easier. Now, before I take that out of the die, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. This is my little trick. And I'm not even going to charge y'all for this trick today. Like I ever charge y'all for a trick. I'm going to lay this down, because you see it cut that middle out. I'm going to show you how you can get around that so that that will stay intact. Good old Scotch tape. I'm going to take a piece of Scotch tape and I'm going to tape that before I even take it off the die, because it cuts the center out in case you just want the frame. But in this case, I want the center as well as the frame. So I'm just using some good old-fashioned Scotch tape to go around it and hold it in place for me. Nobody's going to see that because it's going to be glued down. So now we can go ahead and take this off and pop this out and pop that out. And now that is in there. You can see the outline of it, but it is in there and it's not going to come out. Now we can stamp a sentiment on that. And let me find a sentiment that I love. I'm going to pull let me find a new stamp set that has a sentiment that I really want it to say. Okay. This one is called Happiness Abounds. This goes with another suite, but we won't get into that today because we've got a lot of other things to do. You are wonderful in every way. Wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. I love that one. So let's wish them all the happiness that we can imagine. And see, I haven't even put this one down yet. This is a brand new one. Everything is. Which one did I say? Wishing you all the happiness. Okay, this one right here. I don't have a green thumb, evidently, y'all. I have a blue thumb. Do y'all see that? My thumbs are whatever color ink I happen to be in that particular day. And today, it was blue. So I'm going to even that up and try to get it nice and straight. Well, my paper bin just fell, and I thought that Bella was going to have a hissy fit. She just jumped out of her skin. I can't blame her because I about near did too. Alright, I'm going to pick that up. And let's go in with that same ink. And this is that Starry Sky. I love it when I have a juicy pad, but I hate it when I have a juicy pad. I need to be a little lighter with my stamping. I'm going to clean this up so I don't get that all over my piece that I just cut. Okay. We're going to go in and be a little more gentle, and I am going to put this under my Stamp and Pierce mat so that I have a little cushioning because this is photopolymer. So let's tap very, very gently. I forget sometimes when I'm dealing with a new ink pad how juicy they are. So I'm just going to hold that in place for just a sec. Let it get into that paper. There we go. I'm going to leave that ink out because I want to do something for the front as well. Let's make this a birthday card. Why not? And let's just put happy birthday on it. This is not one of my favorite happy birthdays, but you know, I think it will do. I'm just going to take that off because I don't keep those on anyway. Actually, I think we can kind of jazz this up a little bit. Let's do that, and let's do one of these little flowers on it. Like this one. And let's do these two leaves. Alright, y'all hang tight now because we're coming down to the end. I probably won't even, well, I've already done the inside, so all we got to do is put this in. We'll put that in, just glue it directly in, and let's work on this just a little bit. And I am going to pick up my happy birthday first. I need a longer block for that one. So I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to put that right down. Let's put it up here at the top. And I'm going to do it in this ink. I went gentle that time, hopefully. And there's our happy birthday. I think I'm done with this color. I'm going to go in and grab, I think I'm going to grab this pink. That's going to be kind of a shocker. Do I want to do that? No, I don't think I want to do that. How about the orchid? Let's grab the orchid. And I'm going to ink it. I need a little piece of paper. You know, I'm always so indecisive with things like this. Do I want to do this flower? I think I'm going to stick with the blues. I think I'm going to stick with the Starry Sky. I'm afraid that this Orchid Oasis will kind of clash with everything else, so I'm not going to do that. We're going to stick with this. And I'm going to do the flower and the leaves out of this color. Just like that. Uh-oh. Did I lose everybody? There we go. All right, my mouse got touched and it kind of almost shut me out. So that was not a good thing. All right, I think that's all I'm going to do on there. Maybe some leaves right there. They'll be outlined, so I'm going to do those in a green just because I can. And I'm going to go something soft with the soft succulent. And I'm just going to come up right there. All right, so now this is going to come and go right about here. I think I want it right there, and I'm going to pop it up a little bit, or maybe right here. I kind of like it right there, so I think I'm going to put it right there and pop it up on some dimensionals. So my dimensionals have flown the coop. So I'm going to put one on each corner, maybe one in the middle, just to kind of balance everything out. And pop these off. And then we're going to put this right about here. And then we're going to take this piece and just glue it directly down inside. And I'm going to use Stampin' Seal. That's going to help hold that piece in, as well as that Scotch tape. And we're going to put that in right about there. And there we go, y'all. 2 cards in about an hour and a half. Not quite an hour and a half. Not bad. What do you think? I hope y'all love them. I hope that you really love them. I'll have to say that this one is my favorite. I think I love anything that is an interactive card that's a fun fold. This one would definitely be a card that you could make if you were in a hurry. You could also put something in here if you wanted to. But I love the way that turned out with that reef, and I really wanted to try something with that little reef and putting in some color. And this would be so cute. You could actually put in and do greens and pinks and some different colors, which would make it beautiful as well. So there's our 2 cards. Let's get to our drawing. So I'm going to have Jennifer, this is what we're drawing for. We are drawing for a Driving By Cling Stamp set. And whoever wins this, if you will let me know in the chat if you'd like me to put the stickers on, because they do come like this, and you have to peel these off and put these stickers on. And some people that don't have practice with this might have a little trouble, and I'm more than glad to put them on for you if you like. If not, I'll send it out to you just like it is. But anyway, Jennifer, if you're there, thank you. Margie, thank you so much. Okay, Jennifer's going to go ahead and give me the names, and I'm going to type everybody's name in that's here. And let's see, I need to get rid of that. and go to my random name picker, and we need to create a name list, and we're going to, oops, we're going to call this 4 13 22, create, and then we're going to add names. Okay. Jennifer, if you'll give me the names, I'm ready. Okay, Margie. Okay, Alicia. Okay. She probably didn't see. Kathy, what? Do you want to be in the drawing for the free stamp set? I'm sure you do. I'm putting her in. Okay. Margie. Okay. Next. Okay. Oops. Okay. Who was it asked that question? EC McDonald. Jennifer just let me know that you asked where we would get envelopes for these cards. I can show you how to make a card envelope for this. You can pretty much buy, I think you can buy 6x6. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell them, but I can show you in a video how to make it. It's not a hard thing to do to make an envelope. So what I'll do is maybe for a video, a little short brief one, I'll do a little tutorial showing how to make a 6x6 envelope, because a lot of people do enjoy doing 6x6 cards, but it is hard to find envelopes for them. So we can definitely do that. We can make some envelopes, and I'll show you how to do those for these. Does that sound good? EC, if you have not subscribe to my channel, please do so. I don't know if you are a subscriber or not, but if you have not, that way you will get notifications whenever I put up a video, and ring the little bell and just say you want all notifications, and then anytime that I go live or put up a video, you'll be there. Okay, so I have 9 names. I have Alicia, Beverly, Kathy, EC, Jennifer, Joanne, Margie, Ryan, Margie Miller, and Marlene Watts. Is that everybody? All right, so we are going to go ahead and choose our winner. Here are our entries, and here is our winner, Margie Miller. Margie, if you will please email me. Jennifer, if you'll pop my email address up there. Please email me with your address, and I'll get this out to you. If not today, definitely tomorrow. I got to run out this afternoon, so I'll probably drop it in the mail today if I get your address. So I hope you enjoy the stamp set, and I can't wait to hear back from you. So email me, or you can text me on my phone, whichever. So Jennifer will pop all that information up there for everybody, or Alicia, whoever can get it up there. It doesn't matter. Cassandra, who is Cassandra? Oh, Cassandra Mars. Oh, I wish I had known you. I would have put you in for the drawing. All right, Margie, I'm going to put your name on this. Okay, we're back. I'm going to put your name on here so that we can make sure. I'm so sorry, y'all. My allergies are killing me. Oh, okay. Jennifer's letting me know that that Cassandra just popped in. So if you join us again for our lives, we always do giveaways. So just let us know when you come in, and you will be entered into whatever the drawing is for that particular day. But thank you, Cassandra, for stopping by. I appreciate it. And I'm going to put Margie's name on here so we can make sure that she gets this. I get it out to her as soon as I get her address. So here's our 2 cards that we made today. We have a kind of a simple version here and a more stepped up version here. So I hope that you enjoyed these 2 videos. I mean these 2 cards and our live today. Let me switch over so I can at least look at everybody while I'm talking to you. And so let's transition over. Okay, can y'all hear me now? I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening. It's like it's cutting on and off and I have no reason for it. Can you hear me now? Okay, checking the sound. Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm giving it a few minutes to catch up, so hopefully y'all can hear me now. Okay, all right, back to what I was saying. I was saying thank all of my new people for coming in. I hope that you will come back again. And a special thanks to all of my tried and true friends, the people that have been supporting me for ever since I started my channel. Thank you so much for your support. And all of my new people, I love you so very much. And I always close out my videos because I love my Lord with all my heart, and I always want to give him honor. And this is my closing remark with all of my videos. Let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. He is worthy of our praise, our honor, our life. Everything that we have belongs to him. So let's honor him with everything that we do and say. I love you all so much, and until we craft again, God bless and keep you. Bye-bye. I love you. Mwah.